My brother once told me, "You had it made. Why throw it away for an app no one's going to use?" I didn't respond, just smiled. 3 years later, his startup's onboarding process uses my software. He doesn't even know I'm the founder yet. Subscribe for more real stories that hit deep and stay with you. I'm Caleb Monroe, 36, based in Austin, Texas. I walked away from a lucrative investment banking career on Wall Street after burning out so hard I couldn't finish a sandwich without thinking about market volatility. Now I run a bootstrapped software startup called Onboardly, which helps small businesses streamline training and onboarding for remote teams. It's not flashy, but it works. And recently, it started gaining traction. Quietly. Right under the nose of the family who thinks I gave up. At our annual 4th of July barbecue, my brother Ryan pulled me aside. Beer in hand, aviators on, tech bro confidence at full blast. "So, still, tinkering with that training app?" I nodded. "Yeah, it's called Onboardly. We just hit 50 paid clients." He raised an eyebrow. "Nice, but, when are you jumping back into the real game? There's a VP slot opening up at my firm. Easy in for you." I smiled, but I could feel the same heat I used to feel on the trading floor when I missed a cue. "I'm good, Ryan." "Dude, come on, you're too smart to be in beta life." He wandered off before I could reply. Later, while tossing his toddler in the pool, I heard him say to his wife, "He used to be the guy in the room. Now he's just not." I drove home that night and worked until 2 a.m. My inbox had 3 demo requests waiting. 2 weeks later, I got a frantic email from a new client, small startup in Boulder. Their entire onboarding workflow crashed mid-week. Turns out their previous vendor jacked up prices overnight, and they'd migrated to Onboardly in a rush. The CTO was desperate. I pulled an all-nighter, rewriting a chunk of code from scratch and walking them through a fix on Zoom. By morning, their operations manager sent me a note. "If you hadn't stepped in, we would have lost a client. You saved us. That startup, next phase A." I didn't recognize the name right away, until I visited their LinkedIn page and saw a familiar face in the leadership team. Ryan Monroe, my brother, his new venture. I stared at the screen, stunned. He had no idea I was behind the tool powering half his operations. For the first time, I didn't feel angry, just steady. A week later, I was sitting in a client feedback call with my customer success lead, Sarah. She'd just finished a check-in with Next Phase AI's onboarding manager, Ryan's right-hand guy. "They love the product," she said. "Said onboarding dropped from 9 days to 3, called it a beast. But get this, they think we're a white label product built in Canada. They have no clue who owns it." I laughed, hard. First time in a while. Sarah grinned. "You want me to tell them?" I shook my head. Number, let it breathe. That night, I watched Ryan's keynote on YouTube. He demoed my app, called it a game changer for scale. His investors clapped. He never once mentioned Onboardly by name, just said our new system. But I didn't need the credit, not yet. I screenshotted the moment he pointed to the dashboard I designed. Saved it. Ryan invited me to an investor mixer at a rooftop bar in downtown Austin. Said it was low-key and that a few of the old gang would be there. Translation: show up, shake hands, and remind people you used to matter. I wasn't going to go. But then I did. He introduced me to his head of operations as my older brother. Used to be a beast on Wall Street. Used to be. The guy smiled politely. "You ever think about getting back in?" I shrugged. "I've got my own thing. Software stuff." "Oh, cool. Like what?" Before I could answer, Ryan cut in. It's kind of a side project. He's being humble. I took a long sip of my drink, said nothing. An hour later, I overheard the operations guy raving about this training app that saved them during a crunch. You guys should buy it outright, another investor chimed in. Whoever built that could be sitting on a gold mine. Ryan just nodded. We've been thinking about it. I smiled quietly. You already did, bro. 3 days later, I got a cold email through Onboardly's contact form. Subject line, partnership inquiry. Next phase AI. The message was short and stiff. Hi, we've been using your product under a third-party contract and would like to explore a direct partnership or possible acquisition. We're not sure who built this, but our team is extremely impressed. Please advise. R. Monroe, co-founder. I stared at it, heart pounding. He still didn't know. I considered replying right away, or calling him, or sending a photo of us as kids with "Love your product owner" in the subject line. Instead, I forwarded the email to my attorney. Subject line: Let's talk terms before I say hi. That weekend, I quietly pushed a massive update to Onboardly. Sleeker interface, custom analytics, full onboarding flow in 6 languages. No press, no announcement, just strength. The reveal wasn't planned. It happened at a panel event on remote work tech. I was invited last minute after another speaker dropped out. I figured it'd be a quiet, nerdy room. Instead, Ryan was in the front row, flanked by investors, and my parents. When the moderator introduced me, founder and CEO of Onboardly, Ryan's face didn't move, but his hand froze mid-sip of water. I walked through my demo. Platform stats, growth metrics, testimonials from companies scaling faster because of our tools. Then came the slide. Client snapshot. Next phase AI. Before and after results. Usage data. A beat of silence. I looked at Ryan. He blinked, slowly, then mouthed, "No fucking way." I nodded. The audience clapped. I stepped down. He found me after, stunned. "You've got to be kidding. You made that? That's you?" I just smiled. "Still think I'm tinkering?" Ryan showed up at my apartment 2 nights later. No text, no warning, just him, holding a 6-pack and looking more nervous than I'd ever seen him. "I was kind of a jackass," he said. "Okay, like a major one." I didn't argue. He sat down. "You're the reason we didn't fold this quarter. You know that, right?" I nodded. "I mean, our whole ops team is running on your system. You saved us, and I treated you like a burnout." "You did," I said quietly. "But I let you." He stared at me, then looked around my apartment. Modest, but filled with quiet focus. My whiteboard, my plant, my wall of handwritten thank you notes from customers. "I used to think you walked away from something. But you didn't," he said. "You walked toward something." That landed. Before he left, he paused at the door. "You coming to the family retreat next month?" "Yeah, I'll be there." "Good," he said, nodding. "Because Dad wants help switching his consulting firm to Onboardly." I smiled, shaking my head. "Of course he does.